Delaware 1, Maryland 6, Virginia 10, North Carolina 5, South Carolina 5, and Georgia 3. When vacancies happen in the representation from any state, the executive authority thereof shall issue writs of election to fill such vacancies. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers, and shall have the sole power of impeachment. Section 3. The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, chosen by the legislature thereof for 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote. Immediately after they shall be assembled in consequence of the first election, they shall be divided, as equally as may be, into 3 classes. The seats of the senators of the first class shall be vacated at the expiration of the 2nd year, of the 2nd class at the expiration of the 4th year, and of the 3rd class at the expiration of the 6th year, so that 1/3 may be chosen every 2nd year. And if vacancies happen by resignation or otherwise during the recess of the legislature of any state, the executive thereof may make temporary appointments until the next meeting of the legislature, which shall then fill such vacancies. No person shall be a senator who shall not have attained to the age of 30 years and been 9 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state for which he shall be chosen. The Vice President of the United States shall be President of the Senate, but shall have no vote unless they be equally divided. The Senate shall choose their other officers, and also a President pro tempore in the absence of the Vice President, or when he shall exercise the office of President of the United States. The Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments. When sitting for that purpose, they shall be on oath or affirmation. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall preside, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the members present. Judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to
We provided additional information today about the site of my birth. Now, this issue has been going on for 2.5 years now. I think it started during the campaign. And
my friends, it is the 27th of April, 2011, and as the headline reads, the newest Obama birth certificate that's been released by the White House has been altered in literally dozens of ways, and it's been altered in ways that are so obvious that it makes the head spin. This had to have been done on purpose to accelerate this debate. The White House obviously wants to make everything about the birth certificate and was he really from Hawaii or Kenya, instead of his record of more wars, torture, bailing out banks, signing statements, and lobbyists. There's no way they are this stupid. If they are this hubris-filled and arrogant and crazy and have put out the document that we're about to show you, then we're in even more trouble. In a way, I hope that this is some type of sick ploy, because if they are crazy enough to put this out, knowing that there are millions of people that are Photoshop experts, including people who have degrees in it, like my sister who has a degree in photography, and 2 people we have on staff that are Photoshop experts. They've all looked at it. It is mind-blowing. That's only the tip of the iceberg. That's what got the Photoshop community's attention online. There are thousands of sites right now going crazy, mainline ones saying this is obviously fake. On purpose. This is a horrible fake forgery on purpose. Understand, someone who has no understanding of how to research forgeries would see this immediately. Right now we're reeling from this, but Rob Dew is the only one of 3 Photoshop people we've got on staff that wants to be on camera. Rob, let's go ahead and get to this document.
Right. Okay, first thing what we're going to do, here's the article on InfoWars. Obama birth certificate raises as many questions as it answers by Paul Joseph Watson. He's got the birth certificate. You scroll down to the bottom of the article, the whitehouse.gov, Obama's long-form birth certificate, whitehouse.gov. So we're going to click on that. Here's what everybody's been looking at today. Here's the document. We're going to save this into a folder called Obama Birth right here. Nothing in here. In here it says birth certificate long form. So we're going to save it.
And by the way, I was hoping that this was real today, and we didn't even start looking at it. I'm sick of this issue. People ask me to cover it and look at it. We know they've been covering up his records. They've spent millions of dollars blocking lawsuits about this. Why didn't they just release it? If we go back 2.5 years ago, they released the receipt of the live birth, not the birth certificate, and told everybody this was it, and it was a birth certificate, and no long form existed, and you were a conspiracy theorist if you said something else existed. Now they've released this, so remember that lie. And then Rob and others in the office, all the Photoshop people, all the video editors, including folks with degrees from universities in this, came to me and they said, my God, this is totally fake. Then they went and checked the big Photoshop sites, as I said, and they're all saying this is fake. But it's so fake that it boggles the mind. I'm sorry to interrupt. I mean, Rob,
It's crazy.
it would take 10 hours to go over everything. I mean, the letters don't match. The layers of the signatures go over the green background. Again, it's like they wanted to be caught. This is 100% altered in so many ways it'll make your head spin. I'm sorry, go over it.
All right. Now, if you have a copy of Adobe Illustrator, you open that up. So now we're in Illustrator. You can see up at the top here. We're going to open this really quickly. Here we are in Illustrator, and you can see already that there's little layers, but you can't, it moves everything at one layer, okay? So there, I'm going to go back, put it back here. Now watch this. I'm going to click onto it, right-click to release clipping mask. This is what everybody's been doing. So now everything has been all the layers have been broken apart. So we'll just grab this layer real quick, and we're going to cut
And
it.
this is like in a Photoshop file. You can see what was moved before and what they altered, and you can see that these things were cut in here. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So here we are. I'm going to cut this layer. Boom. And now we're going to add it to a different layer on top of that other layer. And now you can see this is a completely different layer, and there's even a missing number on this when you bring this back in. Let me bring that back up.
So
you can
there's
see
a
how-
ghost. There's a ghost.
Yeah, so this one was here originally, but then they added these numbers, it looks like. Watch the signature here. Part of the signature's there and part of it's not. They add something down here to ukulele, who's supposed to be the local registrar. They add the numbers 1 here and over here. There's a 3 and a 1 added. You can just see by turning it on and off. You know, there's different letters all over this that have been added into it. So there's
Well,
something
I'm a
that
layman,
stinks.
but for years watching people in the office work in Photoshop, myself learning how to use it, they didn't flatten it.
Exactly.
They left it in the layers, but what's crazier is you could say, well, that was just a mistake or some computer glitch. The numbers they've added don't even match or look the same
Right.
when you blow them up.
Yeah.
I mean, this is insane. They're modern computer numbers, not some 1960s typewriter.
Yeah, you could easily see that.
I'm going to be honest, folks. This is beyond me. Because I've had 3 different Photoshop experts in my office look at this. I go to big mainline, non-political Photoshop sites. They're freaking out over this. And this is not just the fact that it's in layers and been altered. It's all fake, and the numbers don't even match, and all the stuff's been added. Our government is insane. I mean, what is this? What is the point?
It looks like a joke to me. This is definitely a joke. I mean, I can't
A joke
believe-
on us. So,
Yeah.
so the elite have gone completely insane. It's like Marie Antoinette saying, let them eat cake as they're starving to death before the French Revolution.
Right.
Or Nero burning Rome for fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the CIA admittedly can create fake videos, fake newscast. They can shoot video of anybody they want, and then off just a few seconds of it, put it into a computer template, synthesize the voice,
Right.
and make a perfect copy that top experts can't
The question
decipher.
is,
why can't they
Yeah.
make a fake
Why
birth
wouldn't they do a better
certificate,
job?
even
Yeah.
if it's fake?
Yeah. I mean, who dropped the ball on this, or was it done on purpose?
There's no way you could drop the ball. This is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Looking at this, there's so many different anomalies. What are some of the most important? Summing this up.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is that you've got several layers that you can move around and manipulate, and that you can cut apart from the document that they put out of. That's, to me, the biggest red flag that I would throw out there, and it's pretty scary that they would throw this out thinking that nobody would take a look at it.
We're not sure what's going on here. We need the audience's input on this. Other Photoshop experts, former government people that worked in document authentication. If the White House takes this down or flattens this document, the good news is so many hundreds, perhaps even thousands of sites have seen it that they're going to have trouble denying it. We need your help out there. What do folks need to do? I mean, check it out for themselves.
Download the document. Try to break it apart. What do you see? Because we're probably not seeing everything. There's so much going on in this thing. We can't catch it all.
Yeah, we're hurrying to get this out quick.
Exactly.
I mean, I was about to walk out of the office at like 6 o'clock, and you're like, hey,
yeah,
you want to look at this?
See this?
We did about an hour or more research. The other people looked at it who did the Photoshop. Look, it's incredible. This has clearly been edited and altered and manipulated in so many ways, and they put it out and make no statement about that. And the numbers they've added clearly aren't from the same typewriter, and it's a sophomoric forgery. No wonder he was laughing. You're right. It's a big joke.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I could say is this morning he was laughing. He thought it was funny. So he obviously knows what's going on. And, all we can do is, call for an investigation.
It may not be a psyop. I mean, at the end of the day, they kept trying to ignore it. Governor Abercrombie said that when he was elected, he was going to go get the birth certificate. He went and told papers, I can't find it.
Right.
They put out this receipt of birth certificate and said, no, this is it. There's no other long form. This is what he got when he was born. And then now they changed that and said, oh, no, here is the long form.
Right.
So maybe they're just so lazy and arrogant that they saw the poll 2 days ago of 62%, not thinking he was born here in USA Today, and they panicked and just churned this crap out, and some lazy psyop person they used to do it left it in the layers.
A sample of government work is what you could say. I mean, it's the job half done.
Brainstorming here, we're starting to figure this out. I mean, look at none.
Yeah.
It's all light and gets darker on purpose.
And
then it's in the layers, folks. Do you get this? We're meant to find this. Dude, I want you to hurry. Get this out as fast as you can. And when you see this on YouTube and Infowars.com, folks, get it out to everybody. Because other people are going to take the bait of this psyop and go, look how fake it is. They're not going to add the other layer of, ridiculously fake. It's meant to get us all fighting with each other. It's meant to get people into a big debate about this.
Instead of the real
We're
issue.
starting to figure it out here talking. Dude, good job. Get it out fast.
All right.
And good job to folks that gave us the tips.
Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the sites, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.